This was going to be the first time that we actually see Pennywise in the show. I wanted to create that tension, to create that buildup. I wanted to make something special. This season, the military is trying to find it. Because of his condition, Shaw makes Leroy spearhead the mission.
Leroy is our leader in this episode. The reason he's chosen is because, according to Shaw, he, quote unquote, doesn't have fear.
29 Nebold Street.
All of these men, they've all been educated about what it is and how it manifests itself. But understanding and seeing it in real life are two different things. This is the first time we actually enter Nebold. We prevised that first shot that we get of it when all the army jeeps and trucks are landing. It was really important to me to treat this location as a character and introduce it as such. The well is another iconic place in the movies. It was a different location, but we did a lot to make sure that it matched.
All right, boys, down the hatch.
It's the sewers. It's the coolest thing ever.
The crew is outstanding. The set was impeccable.
In retrospect, it was one of the coolest sets I've ever seen firsthand. I mean, the magnitude of it is just unfathomable.
But it was also the hardest set I've ever worked in my life.
Can you feel it? I feel something.
Even though Leroy is medically a fearless man, he's actually not.
Leroy, he's always seen himself as a family man, a good father, a good husband. And one of the worst things that could happen to him is hurting Charlotte.
Leroy, help! I'm scared.
He's now deep in the sewers, he's lost, and his wife appears.
Charlotte, what the hell are you doing down here?
Charlotte becomes a monster. He has to kill her.
Whoa!
For a split second, Leroy believes that he's actually killed his wife. In that moment, he decides once and for all that anything he sees in this tunnel is fake.
Listen, whatever you see down here that's not supposed to be here, you fucking kill it.
Which leads him to one of the most emotional moments in the episode.
After Leroy shot down the incarnation of Charlotte, Will appears to him, with the only difference that Will is real this time. As unlikely as it may seem that Will is in the sewers, it's the real Will. And the one that realizes this is Paulie.
There's something very charming about the choices that Rudy makes for Paulie's character. Sometimes you wonder why Paulie's even a soldier.
I see him too.
Paulie intervenes and takes the bullet.
Leroy, it's real!
Paulie's his best friend. This is someone who he's fought in the wars with. This is someone who is a brother to him.
It's okay. It's okay. Watching these two fearless men finally break.
I'm sorry.
I loved it. I thought it was beautifully tragic.
In the water, Dick gets transported to his childhood with his grandfather.
Hey, Dickie.
And if you know the history of Dick Hallorann, that's bad news. His grandfather is bad news.
Chris just has presence on screen. There's a lot happening in here, but also in his eyes. It was very, very intentional to have him seated on the floor the entire time, and his grandfather, who's not really a tall man, towering above him.
Power like this is meant to be used.
No.
We had conversations about how the grandfather shrinks him in many ways. He's going to go right back into the state that he was as a child.
From that moment on, Dick is never the same in life. It breaks him. So I'm not a big Pennywise fan.
Maddie?
Maddie's reappearance is one of these big moments in an episode with a lot of big moments.
Where have you been?
In the sewers, Low Derry. That's where it lives.
For me and for Andy and the writers, at no point during the first half of the episode did we want the audience to believe that this was a manifestation.
We're getting close.
Maddie is not Maddie, it's it. I thought it would be a good idea to have Maddie transform into it in a way that we haven't seen before.
All of the tunnels are underground where none of the children will ever be found.
And that's where the idea of Maddie circling around a pole and singing this song arose. Suddenly, on the back of his head, there's something growing. We realize that that hole is a mouth full of teeth. The creature on his back starts taking over, and we realize that that creature is none other than Pennywise.
The clown! Doc Undercover kiddos.
I didn't want to show Pennywise in episode 1 or episode 2 or even episode 3 or 4. I wanted to create that tension, to create that buildup. It's very special to me.